Hey, Battlefield community. Guess what? Community map has been updated again. This time there's actually textures in it. There's a good little overview of what you're going to see when you join in. The basic layout. Here's the spawn on the Russian side. As you can tell, it's kind of like a jungle slash forest area. I don't know where it's actually supposed to take place, but it's fairly jungle-ish. It kind of reminds you of some Bad Company 2 maps, which I know most people were basically that's what they really wanted. And as you probably also have noticed, I'm playing with nobody else because on the community servers, when there's a big update, or if there's like a new maps or a new weapon, people will join. There might be a server or two full of people, but the rest of the time it's fairly empty. But here we're seeing E. E's alright. There's a little bit of cover there. It's nothing amazing. And as you can tell, lots of vegetation in between. It's actually, I've only played this with a group of people when it was untextured. And it's pretty easy to lose them. And I'm sure now that it's textured, it's going to be very hard. Here we got like a logging camp. This is one of my least favorites just because you have to be right in this little nook to actually hide, and when a tank rolls up on you, it's so hard to get away from them. I know that from experience. Believe me, it kind of sucks when the tank on top of you there. And coming over here, you're coming up to the main city. There's a little village in the middle of it. There's tons of places to hide in here. I mean, tons of places. You got this hill up here overlooking it. Some people like to camp out here, or used to. Now that's got some foliage in here and some more textures. It's actually pretty hard to see in there. Initially, on this side and the other side, a lot of people would hang out here. It got quite annoying because they'd be shooting down at you. But right now, it looks like it's not going to be the case. This area, I mean, there's going to be some fighting up here and some ambushing. But for the most part, it's not that great. Not like it used to be. But I can see some mines or some C4 being used in that little alleyway to blow up some people. It would be good for the trolling. And here we are back in town. The town's partially destroyed. I'm sure by the end of the round it's going to be entirely destroyed. But this is definitely going to be one of the places where you're going to see a lot of fighting going on. And one place you see a lot of fighting going on here too is the waterfall, the water temple. It's got this whole, I don't know if it's a Zelda theme going on or what. This is fairly unfinished. I don't really like this area. Before, your frame rate would really dip when you got around that waterfall. It doesn't seem as bad now, because before, I usually get, depending on the level, 90 to 120 frames per second. 144 is where I capped at. There, it tends to drop down to about 60 or 70, occasionally under. Here we got the next one. This is a flag. This is pretty basic. This building has been in a bunch of other ones. It's a lot better than before. Before, this had nothing in there and people were spawning around you. A little bit of cover here. They got this building to help defend it. It's an alright area, I suppose. There's nothing extremely special about it, but it's not bad. And again, you have all this vegetation, all this area in between them to go around, explore. Plenty of room to flank around. I mean, there's going to be multiple different ways and paths you can make it to each area. Here I'm heading over to D. You got these little waterways. Most of the water isn't deep enough where you'll kill your vehicle driving through it. There is a spot or two that's fairly deep that you can do, especially around the water temple. But for the most part, you can drive just straight over, which is nice. I heard they're going to put the rib boats through here. So far, I haven't seen one yet. You basically have your four-wheelers. You got your dirt bike. You have a buggy or two. And there's a tank that spawns at each end. And if you capture C flag, you'll get a tank right there in the middle. And of course, you have your transport helicopter. Here's a view from above what you're going to see. The map overall, I don't know if I would call it medium, maybe a medium-large map. It's not very large. It's about right size. And I actually love it. I like all the vegetation just because it's going to be quite hard to see, especially now it's textured. I mean, I think it's going to be really hard to find people in it at times. So you're going to have to really keep your eyes peeled and not just be a shooting gallery, which, sometimes that's all right. And there's some people that's all they want is, be able to shoot at people nonstop. But I like to be able to flank and get around. And this map's going to have plenty of opportunities for that. And I'm sure a lot of the action right here at C is going to happen. But there's going to be plenty of ways getting to it. Plenty of ways around them. It's going to be really hard to hold down a group of people in one area, I think. And that's going to be great because I'm really tired of maps where you're just pinned down in one area. I mean, there's plenty of them already. We don't need any more of them. I just want some maps where you have plenty of opportunities to get around, unseen, hidden, and I think this map's really going to have that. And if you have any kind of flying capability whatsoever, not that I'm very good at the transfer helicopter anyway, you could fly into here, drop some people off. I've seen some people in the earlier build landing on top of this temple to snipe, which I thought was kind of dumb, but you know, plenty of people are trying to do it. It's, again, I don't know what they're really going to see, but plenty of people want to snipe down people at the temple. Again, for some reason, that seems to be where a lot of people like to hang out at. And here we are back over to E. There's a water tower. You cannot climb the water tower. You can drop down on top of it. You don't have much of a view, though. And this map is pretty cool. You have a big area over here. This area over here is kind of like unutilized, I think. But here we're coming up to... this is where a lot of snipers are going to like to sit. These two rocks, especially this rock underneath me. They're going to love this because it looks right there into the village, right into sea. I think there's going to be always some asshole up here shooting down on top of you. It's going to be a little too good, I think. But, of course, they try to cater to everybody. That's what everybody wants. This is a pretty damn good view into the town. At the same time, they're going to be able to dash back into that rock when they get shot back at. Now, of course, there's very little cover if somebody comes from above or from the sides here. So it's going to be fairly even. But yeah, they have a good view there. There's 2 points. And, of course... the entire thing's destructible for the most part. You can destroy every tree, every building that I found so far can be taken down, run over, blown up. That I like. There's not enough of that in Battlefield 4, and this map is done right. That's what people wanted. They want to blow everything up, and this map actually has that. And I really can't wait till this is on a populated server. Hope you enjoyed my little look into the community map. Now that it's a little bit more fleshed out, it's a lot of fun. I think, even without the textures and not as much added, it was a good map. Now that they've added more and it got the textures in there and things are going to blend in better, I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun map to play.